Filipino family. So I learned this when I learned this drill was from Dale Johns at ICS. I'm just telling this because if you learn it from in a Cali system or an Arnis system, a Filipino system, they tend to teach it a little differently. They tend to, if you're doing a Cali system, they start with a sort of hammer fist, and they start it this way. This is the way you learn it sort of in Cali. Right? Dale, coming from a JKD background, this is part of the way you would learn the Cali progression, but he started this way with the punch. Okay? I just want to point out that if you learn this traditionally, it starts out with this sort of caveman style hit, and then they transition to other stuff with pass. But we're going to start just doing from a straight punch, because this I find is a little more applicable to what you're going to deal with most of the time. And it helps. What I like this drill for is it helps to develop hand speed and coordination at a short range. It also positions your arms when you start playing. All right, but slowly what it is, she throws her, she's punching. I'm going to parry, I clear with an open hand, I check, and I punch right from there. Right, so avoid the tendency to bring the fist back. Right from here, I punch.
Clear, check.
You can think of, one of the instructors said that he didn't like to teach it as a pass because people tended to overpass. So you sort of think of coming up and then shooting in. Because you only need to open the line this much, right? This is too much. I'm wasting time and space. So I just want you to try to do this. And you'll see there's a little give in my body and her body. We're doing this little turn as we move away and we shift back in. Can we just try this? Who knows Hubud? Put your hand up. If you don't know Hubud, find somebody with their hand up. Okay? Rotate around. All right, partner up. We're going to try this drill. Intro to Hubud. Okay? So we can use this for lots of stuff. But we're going to use it to work into doing a lock. So the first lock that we usually teach is I'm going to pull and I'm going to hit her in the face, wrap it up here, pin it to my own arm. Okay, this is a figure 4 lock. You can see it's a number 4. Fantastic 4. Right here. And then we release and she gets to go. I'll do it again.
Yeah.
Parry.
Oh, yeah.
As I clear, I'm going to grab the wrist. This is straight. I bring the arm up high and I tuck it into my armpit. Okay. One of my teachers taught to put it up here. It slides off. So I put it right in my armpit and I pin it in there. And I'm compressing her arm. Okay, and then I just release and go right back to Hubud. She does it. Strike over top, slice in, there you go, pull it into the armpit, okay, and then right back into Hubud from there. So as you release the lock, here, go right back into Hubud. So slow it down, I hit, I roll it over, I pin it in here. Okay, and then release, and go back. Can we try that out? Okay. So the second one I want you to work on. A little bit, I'm going to scoop it down. This, my elbow is going to come and hit in here. All right, so slowly, I'm going to parry it down. I'm coming in, this is a cover in case that shot's coming, right? I'm covering. And if it's not coming, I hit into her elbow to pop it up. I reach over top, pull it up, cut into the elbow, bring it in tight to my body, not to here, tight to my body, point to a spot on the floor that I want to go to, drive it in. Come right back up and start turning. Be careful how hard you put it on. It's going to be their turn. Pop it up. Yep. Thank you. So you see what I said about not putting on the hard? Now it's my turn.
You set the tone.
So here, pop, pop, pull it in tight to my body, drive to the ground. Okay, can we try that one? And if you wanted to stick with the one you're doing, that's okay. The elbow strike is meant to bend the arm. If it's a strong person, the arm may not be bent. So I'm coming in with this shot into that bicep, that's this bend. And then as I do this pull, I turn my body. I don't rely on the arm to pull. My body turns. Okay, and then I drive my weight down and out. Drive it in. Okay, just a little bit. So that's just a little intro to Hubud. Hubud. So Dale, who's my first JKD instructor, said that Hubud was everything. Everything we did, he would do from Hubud, whether it's extra shots, cheap shots, right? Try to work gunting. Yeah, there you go, trapping. Everything could conceivably come out of Hubud. there's a way to take it from doing static to doing with some kind of energy. It's still a program energy shell. But as you add in more and more movements to it, and you add in the idea of being able to switch leads, right, then it becomes a little bit more free flow. So the energy is always changing. And it's just a way to still do your lot instead of just always starting from like a grab or always. And there's nothing wrong with starting from a grab or starting from something like this. It's just from the Cali point of view, it's always got to be in motion. Just from every time you're learning Cali, because it's coming from the weapons. And when you like you think about your weapons forms, there's no point where you're static with the weapon. Right? You're always move. The weapon's always doing something. Either your legs are moving or the weapon's moving. So in Cali, it's always got to be moving. Kind of sense. If you have any questions on what we did today? Good. A little bit of well, a fair bit of spat, and then just a little intro into Hubud. Hubud is a lot of fun. We do it with sticks, we do it with knives, we do it with locks, we do it with trapping. You can bring legs into it, you can bring elbows into it, right? You can Hubud flow. You can start doing elbows. You're doing with your elbows, whether you stop in the elbow, pass the elbow, and then you can switch back into punches. But like I said, as you add more and more to that shell, it becomes closer to free movement. Right? So we'll try to keep doing a little bit of Hubud every class for a little while so we get that flow down. The hardest thing about Hubud, I think, is learning to be loose. Because everybody starts and we're always like, and then your shoulders are really, you'll find your shoulders get very, very tired. Where if you lighten it up, your shoulders will stay loose. But I think for all martial arts, we always have that shoulder. We always want to stiffen up and we want to hit so hard. And there's a time and a place. You gotta pump and focus, but you also need to know how to stay loose until it's time to hit that shot. All right, that shut up, right? That's it. Okay. That's fine.